Karen Griswold, and I'm here to help you manifest your bliss. Yesterday, we were talking about what were we talking about? No. I'm going to bring up some support things that help me when I'm online. And I'm just going to check to see if anybody is saying hello before we start. And I'm going to say a quick hello in the chat, and we're going to get right to it. I got some awesome things to say today, and I just wanted to make sure we're all together to have fun. Okay, great. Now I can see you. So yesterday I was dealing with some anger and frustration kind of topics, and we were talking about how, how staying present and staying purposeful is a great way to avoid, I don't know how to say it, to avoid some of life traps that can steal your energy. And today I'd love to talk to you about another place where people, they have their energy stolen. I'm sure you can relate to this. I'm sure all of us have felt this way. Have you ever been disrespected or underestimated, insulted, ignored? I'm sure you have. We can all relate to this. If you have ever experienced being disrespected, ignored, laughed at, made fun of, put down, or humiliated in any way, I'm glad. This is good. This is your fuel. This is what you're going to be using for manifestation. Every time we are confronted with a challenge or an obstacle, something that we feel we would automatically label as negative or bad, we're going to what's called reframe. We're going to reframe what is happening to us, around us, for us, against us. It doesn't matter. Whatever is happening in your life right now, we want to use it for the good. We want to transform that energy. So yesterday we were talking about frustration and how frustration is one of those triggers. If you feel like someone is slowing you down or coming against you, then you're going to feel a certain resistance. And when you're trying to manifest, you're trying to get into a consistent zone of feeling, which is equivalent of contentment or satisfaction. It also encompasses relaxation. And you want to do this so that your energy flows. We talked about a river and energy flowing with the river. If you don't flow like water, if you put up dams and you stop yourself, we talked about how a little eddy can form, and it's a little vortex, a little whirlpool that will make you very unhappy. It will cause you to slow yourself down, frustrate yourself. You get literally stuck. So your energy is what drives your manifestation. It's what drives your reality. It is what drives your life. That is the engine. What is the fuel? Anything can be fuel. So if you are a fan of Back to the Future like I am, you know that when at the end, he's got to go to the future. He's already taken care of the past. Now he's got to go to the future because, Doc comes back and says, Marty, it's your kids. We got to help them. And they're like, where are we going to get the plutonium? I don't. And he's like, we don't need it. We got Mr. Fusion. And he's literally able to just pull anything out of the garbage, pour some old beer in the tank, throw in a banana peel, anything organic. It's going to break it down and transform it into the energy that the flux capacitor uses. So that is absolutely energetically what we do as humans. We can take whatever is going on in our life and repurpose it as the emotional fuel that will drive us towards our actual goals in life and actually what we want out of life. So we don't have to worry about people being rude to us or snubbing us in any way, when we feel that pang of, it's a mixture of jealousy for the people. Like if you're in a group, if you're in a crowd, and you are seeing that the person who's in charge is purposefully including this part of the group and excluding you, you are not only angry at the person in charge, the person whose fake authority is pushing you away from the group, you're also upset that you're jealous of the people who are included in the group. So there's an exclusivity of the group that you want to be included in, and there's an exclusion of you. We got to flip the switch on this. We got to flip the script on this. Let's look at it differently. Because not only are we going to be angry at the gatekeeper, we're going to be angry at the people who are on the inside being accepted, and then we're going to be angry at the institution, whatever it is. Whatever group is doing this to us, whatever they identify with, we're going to be upset with. So we have to say in our mind, number one, we have to say, well, obviously my energy doesn't match that group. My energy is not right for what they are doing. My energy is different. So I have two choices. I can either change my energy to match what that group is doing and thereby try to get in with that group by changing myself. But then you got to ask at the end of the day, do you want to be a part of something that makes you change who you are? Sometimes yes. If it's a tennis club and you have to be good enough to, get in, I mean, maybe it's like an elite tennis club and you have to be playing for a certain number of years and you have to have a certain skill level. I know that's true of certain chess clubs. They'll have a club where everyone joins, but then you have to sit at the beginner table for a while. You can't play with the masters until you know what you're doing. And that is a fair bar of entry, like that's a fair rite of passage. If you have the right to pay your money and join and be a member and be accepted, but then you have to earn your right to higher and higher levels within the club through your own efforts, that's a fair club. Then absolutely yes, you should be changing yourself to fit the needs of that club membership at the elite level, because that would make you a better tennis player or a better chess player. So that is a healthy way that kind of like peer pressure and competition can bring out the best and bring out the fire in us. Okay, and it is, like I said, that's fuel. That kind of competition and exclusivity is still available to you, and all you have to do is personally work hard. That's the healthy example of this. An unhealthy example is if there is a person, just one person, in charge of gatekeeping, and by way of them liking you or not liking you, not based on your merit or your talent, but by arbitrary whatever this person's feeling, then you start to conform to what their ideal is. You're going to lose a sense of yourself in that mess. You're going to not be happy at what you turn out to be if you're allowing other people to dictate who you are. The worst thing you can do for manifestation, the thing that'll stop you in your tracks from manifesting what you really want, is to jump ship and start living someone else's ideals for you, someone else's standards for you. And then eventually what's going to happen? They're going to decide what you want and decide what kind of life you have. You're not going to be happy with that. Even if you are able to manifest it at whatever level you can, in the end, you're not going to be happy. You're going to be upset with a life that was meant for someone else. So that happens a lot, and it's subtle. It happens at work. You get the job, you want to please your boss, you want to get promoted, you want to get a raise, and you start morphing yourself into what this other person's ideal is. And once you start, if you're really a people pleaser and you really don't know who you are, it's hard to stop. So you can lose your sense of self. You can lose a part of your personality that you like. There are classic movies about this where the boy or the girl, they fall in love, and that now they have to be a part of the cool kids. They have to conform to what the person they like, is and says and does. At first, just to get near them, and then to hopefully build a bond that's strong enough that they can be a part of their world. And at some point, if the world building doesn't match the individual, there's going to be conflict. And someone from their past will call them out on it and say, this isn't you. I know you. You're changing for this other person. Is that really going to make you happy? And the classic question, is that love? So you have to define that for yourself. If love means that you are now what you consider a better person, a better version of yourself, and you fit into whatever it is you are interested in more comfortably, and you're happy, then you did it right. That's for you. If it makes you miserable and stressed out and anxiety ridden, if you're worried about being caught because it's a fake you and you're the real you somewhere else, if it's too much pressure that you're putting yourself under and you're making yourself physically ill, if you are constantly stressed and thinking about how you're supposed to behave instead of relaxing and being your authentic self, those are things that are not healthy and are not going to work for you. If you decide that what your goal is that you're not going to be a part of that group because you've decided they're not good people for you. They may be good people generically, but for you, this is not a good fit. So if you can take a look at it and think, well, I'm being excluded, but maybe that's actually a good thing. Maybe I'm actually happy about the exclusion. Maybe I am now taking this opportunity to start a club that has one member. It's just me. And I'm going to start walking my own path, being my own person and doing my own thing, because that is more important to me than anything that group could offer me. And if that's the case, then you are now beginning the process of using their judgment of you as fuel to make sure that you are feeding yourself the emotional, psychological, and spiritual nourishment that you need to make yourself happy. And you don't need that person's validation, and you don't need membership in that group. And it can be 2 people or 100 people. It doesn't matter how many people are trying to exclude you. It's just that you need to feel, if you feel excluded, if you feel like you're sharing your ideas with someone, this happens in families a lot, or close friendships if you've known someone a long time. You want to start a business, you have a great idea, you want to write a book, you want to do something creative. And the person who loves you will look at you and say, I don't know how you would ever do that. That's kind of ridiculous. Like, I don't think that'll work. I mean, how would you get the money and how would you find the time? And you've never done that before. You don't have the skill set. So it sounds silly to say these things out loud now because we have online information and you can take classes online. You can gain any skill you want. And if you need to get a job and maybe a side hustle to make extra money so you can afford to start going in that direction, there's nothing unreasonable about your dreams. It sounds perfectly reasonable. Even if you want to go to space, start saving, because at some point one of these big deal companies are going to start like allowing you to climb on board for the right amount of money. And right now it's very expensive. I think it's still millions of dollars to get, to buy your way on board. But eventually it'll be thousands. And that'll be affordable. It'll be a trip. It'll be just like an airplane ticket. So anything, when you break it down, becomes a reasonable idea, and you deserve to be taken seriously. So where do you find that validation if people around you who are supposed to love you and support you are not validating you? This is going to sound very obvious, but I'm here to point it out to you. It's in you. You're just like Dorothy. You got those ruby red slippers, and you just need to remember the power always lies within you. It's never outside of yourself. So you really don't need validation from people outside of yourself or groups outside of yourself. You may need entrance into a group for a specific purpose. That's true. But the way to get into that group is still by validating yourself first. Because the people in that group are not going to see you as worthy if you don't see yourself as worthy. So maybe what is happening, the communication that's actually happening from you to the universe, from you to that group, is that they're acting as mirrors. What they are saying is a reflection of themselves, but it's also for you to look at the mirror and say, does this match me? Is this accurate? Is this fair? In English, when I put on my English professor hat and I teach, we call this a foil. You've got the protagonist, and the protagonist has to have a foil so that you can see more clearly who the protagonist is. We define the protagonist by using contrast, and the foil provides contrast. So it really is helpful if a group doesn't match you. If the group is not vibing with you, that's actually really helpful, because what it means is you are going in a different direction and you are vibing a different way, and therefore you and that group may not be a good fit. So you really have to analyze what you want from that other person or that other group and decide if it's worth selling out for. Is it worth your dignity? Is it worth your self-esteem? Because if you stop caring and detach, you no longer care about what that group thinks of you. You no longer care about that group. You emotionally withdraw your attention and your focus, and you put it on yourself, then that is going to be the most productive thing you can do. That's going to lead you to manifesting your dreams. You're going to manifest faster because you're focused. Focus and attention is the number one most important thing you can do when you're doing manifestation. So let's just take an example of if you're excluded from a group and you feel hurt, you feel anger, you feel frustration, maybe humiliation or embarrassment, maybe sadness or loneliness. There's a lot of complicated emotions that come with being rejected or excluded. Take a look at those emotions, but ask yourself this question as you're thinking about how you feel. Why do I care? 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 You see what I'm saying? Why do I care? And once you write down those answers, that is what's going to be more telling than anything else. I am experiencing a technical difficulty. I am live on YouTube, but not on Twitch, and I just noticed it. So I'm going to take care of a couple of technical issues, and then I'm going to come right back on. So if you're on YouTube live, I'm going to see how I can see the chat, because that's down. My chat is down on YouTube live. My chat is up on Twitch, but my feed is down on Twitch. So I've got like an opposite thing going on. So we're going to just pause briefly, and I will be back. All right, until then, be well. There we go. I think I've found the problem. It's looking for a specific key and it doesn't think it has it, but I think it does. So we are going to get right back to our chat. I'm just going to make sure I can say hello to everyone, and we'll get right back to our discussion. And if you're on YouTube live, I also have a chat going on there. So hello from Manifest Bliss. Whatever way you are getting involved, it's good. So I hope you can come on by. Maybe, daily would be great, but anytime you have a question, you can get on here and ask it. And that is, I know, sometimes helpful when you're in the midst of what is a really, it's an emotional roller coaster. Manifestation is, you're going to experience a lot of different emotions when you're manifesting. And sometimes it's nice to have someone to talk to because it can get lonely. It can get frustrating. So we're just going to go over what we're going over. For those of you who are joining us during this little reboot, I just experienced some technical difficulties, so I wanted to say hello again. So, hi, welcome back. I'm Erin Griswold, and I'm here to help you manifest bliss. Today, we're talking about being disrespected. Have you ever been disrespected? Have you ever felt ignored or left out? That's what we're talking about today. And I say, good. Good. I'm not happy that you're being left out. It feels terrible. What I'm happy about is that you are now going to have some laser focus and some fuel that's going to drive your manifestation, and you're going to see positive outcomes faster because you are more focused on a specific outcome. You are going to have not enemies, because we don't want enemies. We want to view people as helpful. So if they are choosing to ignore us or choosing to be rude to us, it is because they want to help us manifest. I know it sounds crazy, but part of manifestation is what we call reframing. It's about saying things in a different way and making them feel better. So you don't have to stick with the old sad story that's making you feel upset. So here's an example. I go to a party and I've been invited. I'm supposed to be there. And once I'm at this party and I'm actually in attendance, the hostess is not being very polite to me. Okay? And she is not making me feel welcome. Everything that is supposed to happen is happening. I have a table number, I have a place setting, my name is there, my guest and I are enjoying ourselves, and we're interacting with the other guests, and everything is lovely. But the hostess is, she's chatting with other people, she's coming by and saying hello, but she gives us kind of a snub, just good, and it's not glad you're here or good to see you. It's, oh, you can make it. Oh, you made it. Okay. Well, and like, I'm sorry you invited me, but you didn't think I would show up. Like, why invite me? Okay, that was weird. And now you're disoriented. You're feeling a sense of disequilibrium. And this is what happens with learning. When you are given new information that does not fit the parameters of the old information, your brain gets a little bit scared. It gets a little bit panicked. It's a natural phenomenon. It's called disequilibrium. So you are now what in if you're neuro non-typical, if you're on the spectrum and you get dysregulated, would be another way to say it. So if you are disoriented, dysregulated, discombobulated, you're experiencing disequilibrium. And disequilibrium means that you're going to feel a little bit off. Like, some people actually do feel like their balance is off. They feel they have tunnel vision, their blood pressure is involved. It could lead to a panic attack. So recognizing the symptoms of disequilibrium early on will stop any kind of panic attack in its tracks, which is very helpful. Now, what do? You immediately need to ground yourself. If you're feeling that off and your blood pressure is going up and you're feeling embarrassed and you think you're either getting angry or you might cry, you need to get good. Okay, so in this scenario, what would be going through my mind? It would be, a lot of negative talk about the person who just snubbed me. I would have some choice words for her. And I'd probably be rehearsing them in my head. I'll probably be thinking about what I would say to her. I'm just going to get up and I'm going to go say this to her. And then if you think about it, this is not a good idea. Okay. Why am I saying this is not a good idea? Run that scenario all the way through. Run that scenario all the way through. And what do you think is going to happen when we actually go up and confront this person who has snubbed us, who has been rude to us? One of three options. One, they didn't mean anything by it. and you misinterpreted, and now you've embarrassed yourself. Two, they meant it, and now you are in public, exposed, with a bunch of people watching you, probably have cameras ready to record, and you're going to embarrass yourself because you're going to have a fight in public. Or three, you are victorious, you say something insulting, and you hurt their feelings, whether they deserve it or not. All three of these are bad outcomes, really bad outcomes, because you're in public. So normally when you're feeling snubbed, it is a public social humiliation that you're experiencing. And the way to reframe this, the way to handle it, the way to ground yourself is, because you're in public, you can't do journaling. You can do a quick meditation. I'll teach you one that you can do anytime, anywhere in public. The easiest thing is through positive affirmations. And a lot of people fight this. They say, I just was working with a client yesterday who he likes to argue. And he's like, I'm not going to do any of those positive affirmations. They're all BS. It's all a lie. I don't believe it. I know it's a lie. So therefore, it's not going to work on me because I know it's a lie. Okay. That's fair. That may be true. But do it anyway. Here's why. What you're doing isn't working. I'm going to repeat that. What you have been doing and are currently working is not manifesting the life of your dreams. Therefore, that is my proof to tell you it's not working. Stop. Do something different. What could possibly be the harm of saying something positive in your head, even if you don't believe it? Nay, especially if you don't believe it. If you don't believe it, then try it. Because if it works, now you have proof that it does work. And then you'll do it more often. If you already believe that it works, it will work faster. Just because you don't believe that being positive will lead to a good outcome, the universe doesn't care. That's just the rules. It'll work. You'll do it slowly. You won't believe it. You'll doubt it. You'll argue with people against it. You'll make a bunch of excuses. You'll think that it was some other reason. But in the end, it's going to be because you chose to frame it in a positive way. And it does affect your feelings. If you choose to frame something in a negative way, it will make you more angry. It'll cause you greater sadness. You'll have deeper feelings of isolation. This is how people get radicalized online, by the way. So if you're not conscious of how your feelings and thoughts are being manipulated by forces outside of yourself, you can be taken advantage of. So you might as well be on alert and make sure you're reframing everything positively to your advantage so people can't take advantage of you. And then you're not going to feel alone. Because if you affirm, and here's the number one thing I want you to tell yourself in those moments of humiliation: I am enough. Not I am good enough. That's a slippery slope. I am enough. If you can just remind yourself, I don't need you. I'm enough. I don't need that group over there. I am enough. Me, alone, on my own, just me, myself, and I'm best friends with me. I am enough. This person I brought to this event, I don't even need them. I like them. Maybe I love them. Maybe I'm married to them. But I don't need them. I don't need this person to validate me. I don't need you to validate me. I don't need anyone to validate me. It's nice to hear. But if you have the opposite opinion, I don't care. Because I'm not hurting anyone. I'm sitting politely in my chair, eating my salad, drinking my drink, and enjoying the atmosphere. It might be boring because you put together a really bad event and it was really boring. But that's not my fault. And far be it for me to judge you and your terrible event that I took time out of my busy schedule to attend. I was polite. You invited me. I'm here. Maybe I brought a present. Maybe it's, an anniversary or a wedding, birthday party. Maybe it's a business meeting. Maybe it's, I don't know, end of year celebration or something, and maybe you brought something, maybe you didn't, but just showing up. Maybe you bought a ticket, and that was your you know you're allowing to be there. And that I can totally see why, if you bought a ticket and you arrive and someone is snubbing you, that's like, that's even weirder. Number one, you bought a ticket, you paid money, you're supposed to be there, you're allowed to be there. Why are they being rude to you? You spent money and now you're spending time. And number two, you can also say, well, I have as much right to be here as you do, so we're equal. All of these things, no matter what's happening, no matter what the circumstances are, no matter what the parameters are, you can reframe it so that you are back in control. Because remember from previous episodes, control is really why we feel disequilibrium. Loss of control leads to disequilibrium. Loss of control leads to emotional dysregulation. When humans feel out of control, we panic. And we either, our fight or flight subtext, the back of our brain, the hindbrain, the animal instinct takes over. The higher instinct is divinely guided. The lower base instinct is survival. So if you get triggered into your fight or flight response, you don't care about consequences sometimes. You just want to make yourself feel better. So a loss of ego, an experience of exclusion and humiliation, social humiliation, is a huge blow to the ego. And the ego cannot stand to have its identity wounded like that. It will do anything it can to get its status back. And that's basically the storm that's brewing inside of you when you're swirling in disequilibrium. You can't believe you were just so disrespected and excluded, and you can't believe this is happening, and why is this happening to you? And oh, there it is. Now, if you're paying attention to previous episodes, and I've asked you to pay attention to your thoughts, the words you choose, you're playing the victim. Why is this happening to me? Why is that person picking on me? Why am I being excluded and no one else? You don't know that. Maybe that person walked across the room to another table and snubbed somebody else and was just as rude to that person. You have no idea. It'd be fun if you could find them and then form your own club, but and maybe that's what online stuff is for. I will take to social media and I will complain, and then I will find people who like to complain about the same thing. Oh, wait, let's not do that. If we're really vibing with that person across the room who got snubbed by the same person, we'll find each other organically. It'll be a natural attraction, and we will be here to build something better than the boring thing we just attended. Right? Right. Now for product placement of one of my favorite things. If you love Starbucks as much as I love Starbucks, please visit my YouTube channel called Starbrew Collective, where I share my love of all things Starbucks. There's little tags like Erin Loves Starbucks all floating around on my TikTok and other socials, and I really do love Starbucks. And if you want to know how much, you watch my videos. It's been a long love affair that started out kind of meh and turned into something, well, it's daily now. It's a daily habit. I love my Starbucks, whether I pick it up at the store because I was out running errands today, or I brewed at home yesterday. It's delicious and satisfying, and I love it. I love Starbucks. So go visit the goddess when you can, and get yourself some Starbucks. Fantastic. Oh, that is perfect temperature. I got it before the show, and I'm having it here in the corner, just waiting for me. And that is, if you're a coffee or tea lover or a hot beverage lover, there's that moment of perfection when the liquid is just the right temperature. Absolutely great. But I digress. We're back in the scenario where we're at a party, we're at an event, we're at a meeting, and we get snubbed. And someone has just been rude to us. We've been overlooked. And this causes a unique kind of pain. It can also be, so that's like a public humiliation. There can also be a personal, private humiliation where a family member or friend, close friend, someone really close to you, you pitch them your idea, you're so enthusiastic, you're talking about your dreams, and they're like, oh, come on, that's never going to happen. And that attitude can be very disheartening. It can be very discouraging. So we're also going to apply this positive affirmation to this. This happened a while ago. My dog wants back on camera. She's a little camera hound. This happened to me with my own family when I was in the past. I didn't know career wise. Kind of, I was in a transition, and I was also looking for a better place to live. And people will lovingly say, "Oh, if I say, oh, I'd like to look for a new place to live. I'd like to find something different." They'll politely remind you exactly how much money you make or don't make. Isn't that helpful? Isn't that just a really loving, kind gesture? They're gonna just remind you, you can't afford that. Why would you even dream of that? That's stupid. Okay. So this is another. This one for me causes more anger than anything else. Now, let me be honest. If I'm snubbed at a party, I'm angry too. So my first instinct is anger. It's a how dare you? I will get you back. I am vengeful. Then my second feeling underneath that anger is, oh my god, I am so uncool. This person thinks, and then fill in the blank with all the negative stuff I think about myself sometimes, which actually, because of positive affirmations and manifestation and dealing with my emotions and insecurities, I don't have as many of those anymore. If you had asked me this question a year ago, I could rattle off a list a mile long of all the negative self-talk I've got going on in my head. But now, hang on, let me just quiet down and listen. Crickets. I got nothing. That doesn't mean I always like myself. It doesn't mean I'm perfect. It just means I am enough. Right now, the way I am at this moment, I am enough. That statement alone has been so freeing, so absolutely freeing to me. Just to know that I am always enough for myself, even if I'm not enough for someone else. It just soothes the savage beast within me, and I don't go around ripping people's heads off. Figuratively, of course, with words. I don't get into fights. I have nothing to fight for. My ego is completely satisfied with that answer. So let's go back to our scenario at the party. Someone comes over and is rude to you, especially the hostess. But let's say it's just somebody who you don't like and you see them across the way and they're invited to the same thing and you have to be in the same room with them for X amount of time and you're like, ugh, roll, cue eye roll. Ugh, it's that person. And maybe they're thinking the same thing about you. They see you and, ugh, I have to deal with that person. Okay? Right there, you should understand you are definitely enough and you got mutual disgust that cancels each other out. We don't have to worry about them. It's only if you see that they're trying to do something, they're trying to talk bad about you and get a whole group of people against you, which is so high school. They're being directly rude to you. Those things are a little harder to handle. No, they're not. They're exactly the same. You wanted me to give in to your victimhood, didn't you? Oh, that was a trick. It doesn't matter what the other person does. I don't care if they bring a whole army. It doesn't matter. You still know you are enough. And if you can hold that truth, that you are enough, you are untouchable. So start there. That is the only affirmation you really need. You can fill in the blanks after that. You can say, you know what? I know I'm funny. I know I'm smart. I know I'm capable. I know that I'm really skilled in this one area. And if this event were up to me, I would have done this. And you can get lost in a fun thought for 10 or 15 minutes, reinventing the whole event and forgetting about anyone who's in the room, including your date. You should say hello. Oh, wow, I'm so sorry. Yes, you think I'm good enough. You think I'm beautiful and smart and funny. Thank you. I love you. I'm glad I married you. Okay, there you go. And if you don't have one of those, we'll manifest one. You don't worry about it. It still starts with, I am enough. I am enough. Because then when you hear a compliment, whether from a stranger or the one you love, it's just reinforcing what you already know. And you're like, oh, thank you. And you're done. You don't need to argue it or confirm it because you already know. It's something you know. So it's nice to be noticed. And if someone has an opposite opinion about you, well, that's okay. That's nice. Okay. Duly noted. Thank you. Thank you for your opinion. They're like doorknobs. Everyone has one in their home, correct? So who cares? Who cares? All right. So affirming. You need to stop when you feel disequilibrium. Stop when you're feeling the beginnings of a panic attack, the beginnings of feeling out of control. Recognize that your ego is bruised and that you are out of control. Keep your mouth shut. Focus on something. Maybe it's what's right in front of you. Maybe if you can't take out your phone, just stare at what's in front of you. Don't look at people. It's too reactive. Stare at an object. If you have any kind of drink in front of you, stare at it. Your place card, anything, just stare at what's in front of you and don't look around for a couple of minutes. Just stare and affirm. Stare and affirm. You're going to have laser focus on what's in front of you and affirm. And the affirmation, I gave it to you. It's simple. It's powerful. I am enough. And that's it. You say that until you feel it. And then once you feel it, you're going to notice your breathing. It's going to be subtle. Don't do deep meditative breaths. You're just staring and you're feeling and you're thinking inside of your head, I am enough. And it looks something like this. Can you tell what I'm doing? No, just looks like I'm daydreaming. I'm just casually gazing at something and I'm lost in thought. I'm not really giving anything away. This is how you collect yourself. Now, what is it? That was step one, grounding through affirmation and then a little bit of meditation. If you can get yourself into a relaxed trance state, that's even better because then you can have gentle affirmations. I'm safe. I am really going to have a good time here because I'm enough and I can entertain myself. I can talk to my guest who I brought with me and we can form our own private little world and we don't have to worry about whatever is happening outside of us. We know what we're here for. Now we're getting to another step. Remember your purpose. Part of bliss, part of happiness, part of feeling content is knowing your purpose. If you're at an event, you're there for a reason, especially if you're at someone's wedding. You're there to serve that couple. You're there to reflect love back to them. Give love and reflect their love back to them. That's your only job. It's not to pull focus. It's not to be rude to anyone or start a fight. Know your place, mind your business, and be there for that couple. If you're there for a business meeting, obviously it has an agenda. Follow that agenda and don't worry about anyone else. Just be your own little island for a moment and understand that you're connecting with the material your own way and you don't need to worry about anyone else. So once you feel grounded, now you're able to redirect that energy so you can turn your frustration or your anger or your sense of humiliation, turn it into fuel for action. Now, if you're sitting at an event, that's not the time to act unless there's, something to do, like a wedding. You're supposed to be listening to speeches, eating a dinner, dancing, eating cake. You're supposed to maybe be doing something. Redirect the energy into enjoying yourself and having more fun and being more present in the moment. If it's a business meeting, you tackle that agenda. You write your notes. This gives you a great excuse to look at your phone. Maybe have an earbud in, and maybe if the meeting is terrible and you don't want to write notes, maybe you just jump on YouTube and watch me. Okay. And that's true. I will watch videos that are soothing, that get me into a positive frame of mind whenever I'm upset. I have audiobooks I listen to, and I have videos I watch, and I have certain music I go to set a mood because it does work. So use the tools you have and create the tools. Have them ready for you. Have your repertoire ready so that you're not caught off guard and you know what to do. Redirect that energy. Focus your attention on something positive and funnel that negative energy through the power of affirmations and grounding and breathing techniques into something more productive for you. Create whatever you need to create so that you are back to productivity and contentment and acting with purpose. And once you feel productive, once you feel content, once you feel purposeful, your bliss will return. You'll start to feel good again. And that person who rocked your boat, they're not going to matter. You're going to be done with the event or the meeting or whatever it is that is causing the exclusion. You're going to be done with it. And then you have some new choices to make as to whether or not you ever want to associate with those people ever again. So here's where it gets fun. Step 3, visualize the outcome. Visualize what you want instead of what you have in front of you. Most people get stuck, and they get stuck at this point where they can't visualize anything beyond what is right in front of them. And they only focus on what is right in front of them. And then guess what? The universe will deliver more of that, more of what you don't want. So stop yourself in your tracks. If you cannot visualize something better for you, something tailored to your dreams, then stay silent and go back to step 1, which is grounding and positive affirmations, and back to redirecting your energy. You need to be able to get to a place within yourself where you don't need other people's validation. So when you get to this point where you're taking whatever happens, redirecting it as fuel for your dreams, then your visualizations are yours. Don't talk about them with anyone outside of your trusted circle. Sometimes don't even talk about it with the person you love the most in the world. They cannot visualize what you're visualizing. Let them experience, how do I put this? Let them experience you and your energy when you are focused on it and you are silent about it and you're pushing your energy towards something very specific. You're very focused. Other people pick up on that energy. They feel it. And they start to respond to you whether you realize it or not. So the less you say, the better. If you spend all night, and I've done this before, I'm guilty of this. I love to talk. But I decided to make my talking matter and focus it on Twitch live streams, YouTube live streams, and some edited content that is helpful. And then I started writing things down, and that's turning into my book and my curriculum for my online course. And then I've been a part of communities, so I want to share that community, and I want to create one of my own. That is what the energy does when you are silent and focused. And if you are silent and focused and people start picking up on what you want to do, then they start helping you. It's almost accidental at first. I don't think they really mean to do it. They just start helping you. And it's a subconscious thing where they just start helping you. It's very interesting, but that is what people tend to do. We have a new guest here, authoritative tyranny. I really enjoy the names of people on Twitch. You guys are too much fun. Well, shout out to you. Hello. Thanks for joining my chat and watching my stream. Please, if you have a question or comment, feel free to chat with me. I am available, and I am paying attention. And if you miss out on your chance and you're watching my recording, I am doing my best to be here every day at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, USA, Chicago, Houston time. If you are available at this time of day, wherever you are in the world, I would love to chat with you. And if you have a question, we can absolutely help you with that. If you're watching me recorded and you have a question, then please feel free to leave a comment or direct message me. I'm working on a website, so you'll be able to get a hold of me in lots of different ways. Not ready for that yet. Hopefully maybe by next week I'll be ready for that. And I'm really excited that you are evolving with me, that if you're joining me and subscribing here at the beginning of what I'm doing, this is a really exciting time. Right now I'm offering 30-minute phone calls with me for free. And we can Zoom, we can get on Teams, we can get on video, or we can just have a phone call, whatever you're comfortable with. But I'm offering those for free. And I imagine that a year from now, if I offer a phone call for free, it might be with someone who works for me and has manifested their dreams, and now they are excited to be on my team and give back and pay it forward. And you might not be at the first level talking with me one-on-one like you can right now. So Some people go to the more established manifestors because that's what they want. And I have been coached by them as well. And they're great, absolutely great. It's just that I actually have personal experience with this where I'm a fan of one of my fellow manifestors. And when his channel was smaller, he was way more accessible. You could really get a hold of him. And now that he's way more successful, well, never we don't hear from him. we never get a phone call. He's really busy, and we want him to be busy. His channel's blown up. He's really successful, and that's what we all want for ourselves. So we definitely want that for him. So I do not hold it against him that he's really busy and now charges like $10,000 for one-on-ones. Oh, that's crazy, right? And then another manifester, he charges way more than that. So it's cool how much money people are willing to pay for what they need. And I think that's great. I think that's really money and time well spent. If you're learning about yourself and you're learning about how to be more effective in your life and manifest what you want, I think this is fantastic. So it doesn't matter if it's me or someone else that you get this information from. And you can do it all for free. Part of my curriculum, ironically, is to teach you the ways to do this without having to spend much money. So I want to make this accessible at all levels. If you watch my content long enough, you can get all the information for free just by watching my videos. That's kind of the point of what I'm doing. But if for whatever reason you feel moved by divine instinct and divine guidance to become a part of the community I'm going to be launching, it'll be a reasonable monthly fee just to pay for the administrative stuff and help me pay for my time. That's reasonable. I'm a part of a community that I pay for monthly. In fact, my charge just went through today because it's the beginning of the month. And I'm fine with that. I'm totally good with feeling like I'm a member of a community that I enjoy and chatting with like-minded people on chat boards and getting my questions answered and learning from their experience. And I'm a part of another group where we really share a lot of kind of insider knowledge because we're all doing the same thing. And we're sharing about our own personal experiences because this information is for everyone. It's readily available. It is always available. The problem is we can't always understand what we're reading, what we're hearing, what we're experiencing. We don't always understand it. It can be overwhelming. It can be scary. It can be frustrating or disappointing. And it's so much easier when you go through these things with another human being, especially someone who's further down the path than you. So I just happen to have a little more time at this, a little more experience with it. And that's my only superpower. It's just that I know these techniques well enough to teach them. And that's really anyone who learns something. Anytime you're a student, you will know you have mastery over it when you're able to teach it to someone else. And that's why I'm doing this. It is a personal challenge to myself because I don't really need other people's validation. I am here strictly to help. I want to pass on what I've learned and I want to help those who are struggling. The benefit to me is that I am focused on one lesson at a time and I'm realizing how much I know. And once I do a show, I'm done with it and I'm like, I'm already thinking about 50 things I didn't say that I need to share with you tomorrow. It's a lot of information. It's a lot of content and it takes the time it takes. It can happen quickly. Some people manifest, well, some people have near-death experiences and they manifest immediately, instantaneously, and they never look back. And then it's about refining and reframing relationships with people because they'll feel how different you are. That scared me. I can do that, but the people in my life would not be okay with that kind of dramatic change. So I decided for their benefit, because I love them and I want a good relationship with them, that I would take it easy and on all of us. I would just go slowly and evolve into what I'm becoming so that they can come along for the ride with me. I thought it'd be more fun to bring some friends and family along with me so that when I get to the top, we all hopefully will get to the top together and then I'm not lonely. and making new friends because my friends have evolved with me and now we're all together. I think that's exactly what I want. And that's probably why I slowed the pace down on my progress. I could probably have all the material possessions that I want by this point and all the money that I want in my bank account by this point, but it would create some distance between me and the people who are still in my life who don't believe that they deserve those things or that they can have them. And that makes me so sad that I wanted to do something for them. And I went on this incredible journey that ended up wrapping itself around in a big loop, big figure eight, and coming right back to me. So apparently I didn't know this, but I didn't think I was good enough for anyone or anything. And I kept sabotaging. When people would humiliate me by excluding me or making fun of me, it struck to the core of my being because I was vulnerable to that. Because I was living my life with my ego out in front of me. And then I was trying to be good enough for that persona, live up to an expectation I had of myself that I thought other people had for me. I thought I wasn't good enough for them. But as I went through this spiritual process, I figured out I'm more than enough. I am so good enough for everything and everyone and every circumstance, as long as I prepare within myself and I know I am enough and I'm connected to Source, I can do anything because Source will guide me. Source is everything. So any resource I need will be given to me. The ideas will come, the words will flow. All I need to do is show up, focus, meditate for a moment to get centered, make sure that I'm stable inside of myself emotionally, and then everything will flow. Everything will simply happen because I'm in the right state of mind, heart, and soul. I'm in alignment. And that's what aligning your chakras is all about. It's what meditation and yoga is all about. It's what every trendy, kitschy thing that we've grown to love and turn into a cliche is all about. Just remember, cliches are cliches and stereotypes are stereotypes because they contain a kernel of truth. They are made fun of or they become hurtful because we exaggerate on top of the kernel of truth. So what we're doing here with Manifest Bliss is we're trying to get back to the most important part, the kernel of truth, what the Bible calls the faith of a mustard seed. And if anyone's ever seen a mustard seed, it is tiny. It is almost microscopic. It is super duper tiny. It's smaller than a poppy seed. And if you have the faith that that is that tiny, it creates a crack in your ego and your belief system, which is, you'll come to find out, a false construct of your ego. And once you break through what your most prized belief, think of the one you cherish the most, the one you would never change, no matter what. And that's the first one that's going to go. It's the one you've got the most energy on. It's the one that's holding you back. Believe me. Now, if your first instinct is to not harm others, guess what? If you have been the person at the party who has snubbed someone else, you've hurt someone. Whether you did it on purpose or accidentally, you've hurt someone. So for you to have your first core belief, I won't hurt anyone ever at any time in my entire life, impossible. You're not going to do it on purpose. If your belief is I don't hurt people on purpose, that's true. But even then, you might have to hurt someone at some point. You might have to break their heart. You might have to deliver bad news. You might have to defend yourself. Why set up a roadblock that is just going to haunt you later? Why not just say, I'll act appropriately. I'll know what to do. Divine guidance will lead me. You hear the difference between I will never do this thing that I'm focused on never doing. And besides, the universe doesn't hear the never part. So all it hears is you're going to hurt people. Ironically. So we need to work on rephrasing and reframing. Ooh, thunderstorm's coming. It's time for me to get off air. Ooh, Yeah, I gotta power down and make sure batten down the hatches. This is gonna be a big one, Annie. All right, so if you're a Star Wars fan, this one's for you. Storm's coming, Annie. That's for you. Okay. So, yeah, let me wrap up because that was my cue. That if you reframe everything in your life to your advantage, reframe and repurpose everything that happens every moment of every day to understand fundamentally that it is there for your benefit and you are going to be better off because of it. Now you're going in the right direction. Now we're talking the same language. Now you and I have the same idea. So, what is that idea? It's to manifest your best life, your dreams, your goals. So, if you and I both have the same goal in mind, well, then I guess two or more are gathering. I am here for you. And if you want to reach out and you need help, I'll be here for you. So I want to say a shout out to Serious Business. Thank you for letting me know that my chat was working. I appreciate that. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your for subscribing and watching. Much love. Shout out to you. And thank you to the newcomer who stopped by to say hello. Hopefully, hopefully we'll have more amazing people who will swing by. And in the future, I will ask some of my clients to be on my show and to be my guest and to bring a current problem or challenge or experience and share it with us. So that's something to look forward to. But if you ever want to be a part of my show, please just reach out to me and let me know. If you don't want to do it in chat, we can set up a live a live way of chatting, Zoom, Teams, FaceTime. I have it all available for you, and I would really love to talk to you. So just know that whatever way you want to interact, I can probably make that happen. So let me know. Reach out to me. Okay. Last time, we're just going to summarize before I say farewell. When you are disrespected in any way, shape, or form, and you're experiencing disequilibrium, recognize it for what it is. It's the beginning of a panic attack. It's the beginning of fight or flight. So stop where you are, center, ground, use a positive affirmation. And I highly recommend the one I shared with you today. I am enough. That'll cut down many emotionally insecure trees. Okay, step 2, try to get into a relaxed trance state that no one will notice. Just a little, it looks like daydreaming, but it's focused energy. And you want to just focus on clearing your mind of any negative thoughts and focusing on your emotional well-being and figuring out what is it that you need in this moment to feel better and repair that part of your ego. And it might be to remind yourself you're not a victim and you don't care about what other people think. That might be it. It might be to remind yourself you're good enough and you belong where you are. You earned your seat. Whether it's by merit or money, you're in that room because of there's a reason. So you earned it. Even if you are well, let's say at a local Starbucks and someone is disrespectful to you, you earned your right to exist because you exist. And that's all you need to know. They have a right to be where they are and you have a right to be where you are. So slough it off, right? We're trying to get to neutrality because the universe really, really responds positively to the path of least resistance. So if you're neutral, you are offering no resistance, and therefore helpful energy will come to you and you'll manifest your dreams faster and easier. So that's why grounding and affirmation and meditation is so important. And learning to do it in public on the fly throughout your day is exactly what we need to be doing. You know, pray without ceasing. Okay, and listen. So prayer is so active. So I say meditate without ceasing. Listen without ceasing. You want to be in tune with the universe at all times. You want to be plugged in to that big energy source. Next, once you're plugged into that big energy source, you are going to want to redirect that energy because you just fired up on all cylinders. You're hot and heavy. You're mad. Ooh, or you're feeling lots of intense feelings, and you want to redirect that energy. That is fuel. That is your magic ingredient that's going to take you to the next level. And finally, you want to visualize the outcome that you want. And you don't tell anybody about this. You just visualize it. Visualize the happy ending. Visualize a redo where you actually arrived at that event and you sat down in that chair and everyone welcomed you and everyone was happy to see you. Everyone was excited that you were there and wanted you to be a part of everything. Visualize that instead of, and I don't even care if it's already happened and you were sitting halfway through that event. If it's bothering you, redo it in your mind. You're a time traveler. You can go to the past in your mind and you can then plan your future. So if it didn't go well and it's not going well, then reimagine it and make a new decision. And one time when I was in the situation and someone was rude to me, I just decided to not get up from my table and to only talk to the people at my table. And they were hilarious. We had such a great time. We had a party within a party. And it was just our private club, our private table. And we were laughing and just having the best time. And I noticed halfway through the event that other tables were jealous of our table because we were having so much fun and they weren't. So there you go. That's what my philosophy has been pretty much my whole life. That if I see a group of people and they're friendly, I'm going to make a party happen just with those people. I'm going to make a game happen. I'm going to make a party happen. I'm going to make something fun happen. And I'm not making it happen. I'm allowing it to manifest. I'm allowing the energy to organize toward the purpose of having fun. Because my theme in life is fun. So I'm always looking for opportunities to have fun. I'm always looking for willing participants to have fun with me. And that's why I believe that when I have this channel and I have this chat and I'm welcoming people into my life and I want to have these positive, productive conversations with you, they're going to be fun. We're going to have fun. We may be talking about really serious things and we may bring up really intense emotions, but at the end of the day, you're going to have fun. Pretty much despite yourself. You're going to be surprised that you came in with a problem in a bad mood. You're leaving with a solution in a great mood. And you're going to realize when you look back on the time together, you had fun. This was great. So part of my goal with the interactive community and the online course is to make it fun, to make you feel encouraged to continue. Because what you're going to come up against when you're doing really intense spiritual work is some really intense emotions. But they get easier to handle. Once you get over the biggest ones first, gosh, everything else is easy. It really is. So when I'm hit and I'm knocked off course, it doesn't last long. Now it's a moment. It's just a moment and I say, what am I to attach to? What do I need to detach from? Where do I redirect? How do I reframe? How do I repurpose? How do I re-energize? Lot of redos along that path until I'm focused and back in a good mood and taking care of myself. And then I become a spectator and I'm watching the whole thing in front of me. And man, I got to tell you, it's highly amusing at that point. Humans are some of the funniest creatures on this planet. And watching humans is one of my pastimes. I love people watching. So what you're going to find if you do this method, if you handle your frustration and your humiliation and your sense of public rejection this way, is that once you've been rejected and you're asked to be on the outside looking in, you really see the group. And maybe that's what Source had in mind for you the whole time. Maybe Source wanted you to be there and wanted you to be rejected so that you would take yourself out of that and detach and look at it differently. When I do this, I see the truth of dynamics between people and groups, and I see all the infighting and the competition and the cliques, and it becomes a play, and it's all done for me, and it is hilarious, and people are really funny, and all of a sudden I'm like, wow. I mean, we're all just a bunch of kids, and we're all just on a playground, and we're all just trying to have a friend, and we're all just trying to have some fun, and we're all just trying to play together, and we don't know what we're doing. So we act like we do, and we act like we're better than. We act like you can't be a part of our little game, but okay, fine, I'll start my own. Didn't want to be a part of yours anyway. I'm lying. You can be a part of mine anytime because guess what? I'm the better person. Oh, wait, now I'm trapped in ego. You know what? We're equal, and if you ever want to be friends, I'm cool with that. And if you don't, I'm cool with that. Now I'm neutral. Wasn't that fun? All right, there you go. So, just want to recap that we are honestly here to have fun. And we forget that as humans. We get so wrapped up in our ego and our plans and our competitions and our exclusivities and our VIP this and VIP that, that we forget we're all human. We all need each other and we can all figure out a way to have fun. And then when you find the people who you have the most fun with, they're your vibe tribe. So then figure out how to have more fun. There you go. All right, guys, I hope that today's topic has been helpful. I hope that what I've shared with you, you can put into practice, and I hope you can come back and share it with me. Leave a comment on my YouTube channel if you try these techniques. We'll have the raw footage from today's show just live and on there. But my husband and I are starting to refine the videos and reinterpret them, repurpose them. So we will be cutting them down to their essence and getting rid of all the chit chat and getting right to the point. So if you're in a hurry and you want to, if you're looking forward to things that are faster, then look forward to these 15-minute videos that are just, it'll get right into it, right into the point of it, right into the solution. And then you can probably on YouTube create a playlist and have those in the queue ready for you. So if you get rocked by your emotions, you'll know just which one to reach for. So you can press replay and then watch it until you feel better. Because that's what I do, and I hope that's what you will do as well. I want you to feel good. I want you to make your dreams come true. I want you to have fun. Those are my wishes for you. So I hope that you'll participate in building your best life ever and manifesting all of your dreams. And if I can help you do it, then I'm happy because I want to be a part of that. So there you go. I've set my intentions. I've set out the invitation. You are welcome to join my party anytime. You are always welcome here at Manifest Bliss. Thank you for joining me. I'm Erin Griswold. And until we meet again, which will hopefully be tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central Standard American Time, I would say USA time because there's different Americas. I'm in the North. But until tomorrow, until we see each other again, please be well. Take care, guys. Thanks. Ooh, I'm having all kinds of fun technical difficulties. I'm probably going to have to go here and stop the streams manually. How exciting. Thought I was signing off? No, I am not. It wants me too much. It will not allow it. Could not access. Yes, I'm noticing. Oh, there it is. Okay, bye.